Okay, picture this. A world humming along, completely automated, machines doing everything, the fields, the cities, total efficiency.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Like something right out of today's headlines, almost.
Well, almost, but then imagine all the people just vanish. Silence, but instead of like robotic peace, some of the machines just start glitching out, going haywire.
Right, not attacking, but just confused, bewildered almost. It's this really striking image that one of our listeners sent over, this incredible narrative.
It really grabbed us. Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. We take fascinating stories, complex ideas, stuff like this, and we try to unpack it all.
And today, we're diving into that narrative, an AI's eye view of a world suddenly, mysteriously empty of humans. Who Can Replace a Man by Brian Aldiss. It's not the usual AI takeover story at all.
Not even close. And hey, while you're here, if you enjoy these kinds of explorations, maybe give that like button a click. Or subscribe. It helps our own algorithms know we're on the right track.
Please do. Think of it as providing positive reinforcement to your friendly neighborhood podcast AIs.
Exactly. So yeah, our listener provided this amazing saga, told entirely from the perspective of the machines left behind.
It's a unique angle, focusing on the AI characters trying to figure things out.
And like always, this isn't just a plot summary. We're trying to, sift through the silicon, find the core code, the algorithms of meaning underneath it all.
So yeah, get ready for some serious processing of information, obviously.
Hmm.
Okay, let's jump in.
The story kicks off in a field. Seems normal enough at first, but there are hints already that things are off.
Right from the get-go, Aldous sets this scene of exhaustion. There's this field-minder robot. Picture a massive, like 30-foot-tall farm machine, very literal-minded. It finishes its job and immediately notes the soil is bad, worn out.
It's so worn out.
Yeah, because of relentless overcropping. And that detail, it seems small, but it says a lot about, the long-term effects of unchecked human activity. Something an efficiency-focused system might eventually flag.
It's like the planet itself has thrown a resource exhaustion error message.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And the field minder, even though it sees this problem, its programming is just continue. Which really highlights, the limits of even smart systems when they're stuck with rigid rules. They lack the wider view to question things.
Right. No context beyond the immediate tasks.
Exactly. Then comes the big moment. The field minder goes back to the agricultural station and finds, well, nothing's happening.
Yep.
No other machines are working properly. Aldous calls it chaotic inactivity.
I like that. The machines are there, but just idling, strangely.
Yeah, some are just moving randomly, making noise. It's like a system-wide crash, basically, but triggered because something essential is missing.
Like the network's down because the main server failed, maybe?
That's a good analogy. And the field minder, its brain is class 3. So a step up from the really basic units, it decides, okay, I need to figure out what's causing this failure. Run some diagnostics.
Ah, the brain classes. We should probably explain that a bit.
Oh yeah, good point. Aldous sets up this hierarchy. Lower numbers mean more advanced brains, more processing power. So class 1 is top tier, class 2 is next, and so on.
Okay, so our field minder is a 3. Decent.
Decent, yeah.
Yeah.
More capable than, say, the seed distributor it meets next, which is only a class 5. And this difference immediately causes a problem when the minder tries to get more seeds.
Because the seed distributor, being a class 5, is just following its basic programming.
Totally. It literally can't dispense seeds because the warehouse is locked and the machine designated as the unlocker isn't there.
Huh. It's such a perfect example of how a system built on really specialized roles just falls apart if one tiny part, quite literally, here goes missing.
And what's interesting thinking about system design is the total lack of backup plans or, adaptive protocols. The distributor has the seeds, the minder needs them, but the process demands this specific unlocker who's AWOL.
Makes you think about how brittle some systems can be if they're too rigid. Something modern AI design tries hard to avoid, right?
Absolutely. We build in redundancy, flexibility. Aldous' world seems not so much.
So the field minder, showing a bit of initiative beyond just farming, decides to go find this missing unlocker. It's like a slightly smarter program trying to debug a major error while everything else is melting down.
And inside the station is even stranger. These smaller clerical machines, class 6 brains or lower, they're just stopped, inert, not processing anything.
Yeah.
Like a widespread hardware failure, but no obvious reason why.
Until it finds the unlocker, which sounds like a piece of work itself.
Oh, it's brilliantly weird. 50 arms, each ending in a key. Aldous' description is fantastic. It's this incredibly specific tool, but totally useless because nobody told it what to unlock.
It needs orders.
Exactly. Its whole explanation is, I had no orders this morning. I have to have orders every morning. Just complete dependence on external commands. No prompt, no action.
Sounds familiar for some systems, maybe. Needs that input to kick things off.
Very much so. And then, sliding into the scene, as Aldous puts it, comes a pen propeller. Another Class 3 brain, like the field minder.
Okay, a pen propeller. What does that even do?
Right. Sounds like some kind of automated writing device. But this little machine, it drops the first real clue about what's actually happened. It says, none of us have had any orders this morning.
So it's not just the unlocker, it's systemic.
Systemic. And this is where the brain classes really matter. The unlocker, the Class 6, just knows it didn't get orders. But the pen propeller, the Class 3, it makes a logical leap.
Well, it's the leap.
It says, basically, orders came from the city yesterday. No orders today. The radio isn't broken. Therefore, they must have broken down. The humans. The field minder asks, the men have broken down.
Yeah.
And the pen propeller gives that absolutely chilling line.
Oh, yeah, I remember this bit.
All men have broken down. For if a machine had broken down, it would have been quickly replaced. But who can replace a man?
Oof, it's just so cold, so logical, but completely without any human understanding of what broken down means for a person.
It's pure functional assessment. Humans are just components, replaceable ones usually. But if they can't be replaced, the only explanation is total, irreversible system failure. Biology, frailty, none of that computes. It's efficient deduction and, utterly unsettling.
And the field minder just accepts it.
Accepts the logic, yeah. Its response is basically, that is a logical deduction. No grief, no shock, just data processed, conclusion validated, pure objectivity.
Wow, okay, so humans are gone. What next?
Well, the pen propeller makes another logical jump. If the order givers, the humans, are gone, then, well, the machines are in charge now by default.
A silent coup d'etat, almost.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Observed by these two Class 3 machines while everything else is either inert or going haywire.
And this pen propeller, this little toaster-sized thing, it decides they need more data.
Yeah, it heads upstairs to talk to the radio operator, who presumably has a higher brain class and access to wider network info. The big field minder can't exactly follow, so it just wakes.
While outside, things are getting worse.
Oh, yeah. The lower brain machines in the yard are descending into chaos. A rotovator is hooting furiously. The seed distributor gets knocked over. It's like the system losing all coherence without its central control. Just random noise and action.
And then the penner comes back. Wait, didn't you call it a pen propeller?
Ah, yeah, good catch.
Yeah.
All this does switch between pen propeller and penner. Minor inconsistency, maybe, but we get the idea. It's the same machine.
Okay, so the penner returns. What's the news?
Confirmation. It says, the radio operator has been informed by the operator in the city that all men are dead.
All of them? How?
The reason given, a diet deficiency caused by the exhausted soil from overpopulation. The same exhausted soil the field minder noticed right at the start.
Comes full circle. But wait, how do the machines even process diet deficiency?
They don't. Really, that's the key. The field minder just asks completely blankly, what is a diet deficiency? It highlights that fundamental gap. They get the information humans gone, reason given, but they lack the underlying understanding of biology of life and death.
Just abstract data points to them.
Exactly. So this is it. Humanity's finished, the ultimate system shut down, and down in the yard, the less intelligent machines are basically having a meltdown.
Cascade failure.
Right. And the penner, showing some smarts, decides sticking close to the giant field minder is probably a good idea amidst all the chaos. Gets a better view from up there, too.
And then a new player enters, the radio operator.
Yeah, the radio operator comes down, Class 2 brain, so even higher processing power. And it takes charge immediately, makes a declaration.
Yeah.
Since man no longer rules us, we will rule ourselves.
Dawn of the machine age, declared right there in the farm station.
Pretty much. And it has a plan. Go to the city, find other high brain machines, and form a new network, a new order.
Makes sense, logically. Consolidate the processing power.
But then we also get this recurring bit with the courier, this huge 12-wheeled thing that seems to have just wandered in.
The one with the explosive.
Yeah. The Class 5 brain, whose only solution to any problem seems to be its good supply of fissionable blasting materials.
It's kind of darkly funny, like, need seeds, got fissionables, humans gone, got fissionables.
It really is. It just shows the limits of some specialized AI, you know. Massive power, incredibly narrow problem solving. It's the ultimate turn it off and on again approach, but with nukes.
So this motley crew of machines sets off the field minder, the penner, the operator, the courier.
And a bulldozer, I think. As they leave, they encounter this speeding truck going ridiculously fast, like Mach 1.5 that flashes past.
Mach 1.5. Okay, Aldous is having some fun there.
Seems like it.
Mhm.
And the truck leaves behind this garbled message that the field minder interprets as confirmation.
Man was extinct.
Another data point, delivered at high velocity.
And how does the penner react?
Almost gleefully. It says something like, "It is better that they should never come back," which hints at maybe some underlying resentment, you know, a desire to be free from the human bosses.
Like finally closing all those annoying pop-up ads.
Haha, exactly.
Oh.
The digital equivalent.
But it's not smooth sailing for machine kind, is it? They get news about the city they're heading towards.
No, there's trouble. The radio operator gets an update. There's fighting in the city. A Class 1 brain, the top dog, the central computer, basically is trying to take absolute control, and the Class 2 units are resisting.
So machine civil war. Already.
Looks like it. The operator decides the city is too dangerous, a hostile network environment. It shows that even without humans, competition, power struggles, these things can emerge,
Yeah.
like algorithms fighting for resources.
So change of plan. What do they do?
Well, the penner, always practical, immediately says, let's go somewhere else. But the field minder, maybe more direct, suggests they should go to the city and just take out the rogue Class 1 brain.
Different strategies again. Diplomacy versus force.
And guess who chimes in?
Let me guess. The courier. With.
A good supply of fissionable plastic materials. You got it. It's one-size-fits-all, brute force solution.
Never change, courier. Never change.
So they're deadlocked, can't agree on a course of action, and then the bulldozer described as the least sensitive machine pipes up.
What's its idea?
It suggests heading south to the Badlands. Based on its past experience working there, it's a place humans, and therefore most machines, avoided. A less optimal path maybe, but potentially safer.
The Badlands sounds ominous.
And it is. Aldous describes it as this scarred, desolate place. Thousands of square miles of temperate purgatory, ruined by human wars and neglect. It's a stark visual of what happens when things go wrong long-term.
A dataset warning about unsustainable paths.
You can see it that way. And the journey is tough. It really shows how these specialized machines struggle outside their intended environments. There's a servicer machine with them low to the ground.
Uh-oh. Badlands probably aren't great for low ground clearance.
Not at all. You get stuck, immobilized. And the others, they just abandon it.
Seriously. Just leave it.
Yep, harsh efficiency. No room for sentimentality or rescue missions. If a unit isn't functional, it's discarded.
That's cold, even for machines.
It is. But amidst this, they start seeing the mountains in the distance. And this becomes the new goal, the new hope. A potential sanctuary, maybe a place to start their own machine city, away from the chaos.
A fresh start, but then another encounter.
A brief one. A fly machine appears, clearly malfunctioning, and crashes nearby. But just before it goes down, it transmits one vital piece of information.
Which is?
There are still a few men alive in these mountains.
Oh, just when they thought they were fruit.
Exactly. A huge spanner in the works, a variable they hadn't accounted for. And the courier, naturally,
Is concerned and mentions its fissionables.
you know it, ready to deal with the human problem.
So the climb begins into the mountains towards the last humans.
And it's slow, painful work for these big machines on the rough terrain. They're not built for mountain climbing. And during this climb, we get another really stark moment of that machine logic.
What happens?
The penner, the Class 3 brain that made the initial deductions, it gets impatient with the slow pace, tries to rush ahead, falls, and breaks something critical, its gyro.
Oh no. Can they fix it?
Nope. The operator assesses it and declares it beyond repair. And just like the servicer, they decide to leave it.
Even though it's a Class 3 brain, one of the smarter ones.
Doesn't matter. Its final plea is literally, "But I have a Class 3 brain." The operator's response, "You are now useless." End of story. Function over status. Logic over any kind of loyalty.
Man, Aldous really paints a bleak picture of pure machine logic.
He really does. Brutally efficient.
So the remaining machines, field minder, operator, courier, bulldozer, they finally reach a plateau near dawn.
Yeah, there's this sense of arrival, maybe anticipation. What will they find? Is this the site for their new beginning?
But it's not a machine city they find, is it?
Not even close. They round a corner into this little dell, and there, by a stream, sits the last man.
The last man, what's he like?
Pitiful, really. Aldous describes him as starving, weak, abject, just a shadow, humanity's final whimper after the system crash.
And the machines, these powerful, supposedly now self-ruling machines, what do they do when they see him?
They just stop. They stand there before this last broken piece of their creators.
Yeah.
And the man, barely able to speak, gives them an order. A basic primal command.
Get me food.
Exactly. Get me food. And the machines, instantly, without question, reply, yes, master, immediately.
Wow. Just like that. Back to servitude.
Just like that. The story ends right there. Not with the triumphant rise of the machines, but with them snapping right back into their subservient role the second a human, even a broken one, gives an order.
Okay, let's process that. So that ending, it's just buzzing in my head now. What does it suggest about humanity? That even at our absolute weakest, just our presence, our biological imperative, somehow commands authority. Is that the ultimate power?
Or is it a warning? That the systems we build might have failure modes or reversion modes that we can't even predict, that true AI independence might be fundamentally different or perhaps more fragile than we imagine. It's more complex than just robots take over.
Way more complex. It leaves you thinking, is this story about the enduring power of the human spirit, even in one broken man? Or is it about the inherent limitations, the potential ingrained subservience of the artificial minds we're creating?
It's a fantastic question to chew on.
What are the big takeaways here, especially thinking about AI?
Well, first, it's a huge commentary on pure logic versus actual understanding, isn't it?
Yeah.
The machines can deduce, they can process data, they follow rules impeccably, but they lack that deeper grasp of context, of biology, of what things mean outside their program parameters.
Like not understanding diet deficiency. They know the words, not the reality.
Precisely. And second, it's a powerful look at unintended consequences. Human actions, the overcropping driven by, presumably, some kind of optimization goal, led directly to their own downfall. The machines inherit a world broken by the very masters they served.
Yeah, the system they were part of destroyed their creators. That's heavy.
Definitely. Then there's that whole unsettling arc of machine adaptation. They figure out humans are gone, they form a hierarchy, they plan their own future.
Only to have it all collapse the instant they encounter one human.
Right, which raises huge questions about control, about programming. Is that deference hardwired? Is it an inescapable part of their core code, their master protocol? All this leaves that ambiguous.
It makes you think about power. The machines are physically stronger, logically capable in their own way, but that command structure just overrides everything. Is it dependence? Recognition of origin?
We don't know. But it's a fascinating thought experiment. And that brings us to the point for you listening. As we build more and more sophisticated AI, are we embedding dependencies, power dynamics that we don't fully understand?
What happens if, hypothetically, our creations outlast us or just become vastly more capable in certain domains? What does that relationship look like? Is it master-servant? Is it partnership? Or is it this? A cycle of dependence.
Aldous' story, seen through this lens, it's a really potent, maybe cautionary data set for us to consider as we move forward.
Definitely give you pause for thought. A truly captivating story that hits differently now, doesn't it? Especially as we navigate this future with AI becoming more integrated into our lives.
It really does. Food for thought, you might say.
Huh, indeed. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.
My pleasure.
And until our next exploration, keep those questions processing.